What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So the next big chapter for Lucid is just starting. So I want to break it down what it is and what it will look like more so for 2023 and onward. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciated. And with that, let's get right to it. So when it comes down to the next big chapter, I'm sure a lot of you guys might already know because I do really point this out a lot in my videos. The market wants a lower price vehicle and it looks like Lucid is now delivering. So pure joy. So officially they are now delivering peers. Definitely a very, very positive aspect. And as I already said, the majority of their reservations, which as of right now, from what we know, is 34,000. So majority of which is for this, which of course, like I said, and the market's been really saying, it wants a lower price vehicle. So definitely the Air Pure is going to be where it's at. And it does look like as well, to piggyback off my video from a couple days back, when they are starting to deliver Dream Editions and the fact that it's already sold out to Europe, they're already starting to have a very big success from what they've seen on the Pure for reservations. So definitely this upcoming earnings should be very much interesting. And them doing some deliveries definitely will get those numbers or last minute numbers up, hopefully to get over those targets for 2022, more so Q4. So let me know your thoughts on that. I've always been a very big fan, and based on their actual production targets for 2023, even if they do stick to that 36,000 for overall Airs, then that means the majority of the reservations that they do have will be kind of depleted. So once again, that will be a very positive sign. You definitely will have that little bit more of a faster rotation of those reservation numbers getting out. So definitely a very positive sign. And like I said, this is going to be Lucid's year for 2023 because there's going to be a lot of dependence focused on two things. One of which is, like I said, the Pure. There's going to be a lot of dependence as far as catalyst sales and everything like that, whether it be Q1, 2, and 3, most likely for 2023. But there's going to be also a lot of dependence on the Gravity. As far as the number of reservations, hopefully Lucid does keep investors up to date on how many reservations and so forth that there are, but definitely a lot of positive things. On a side note, I don't know if this is going to really develop into anything very much profitable for Lucid or if they're just trying to increase the customer experience, but this was posted on Twitter by 𝗖𝗧𝗡, and I found this very interesting. So Lucid Wallet, have any of you guys encountered this as of right now? Because it does say your Lucid Wallet allows you to save payment methods for quick use with Lucid vehicle payments, subscriptions, and merchandise, saved payment methods, and so forth. So let me know your thoughts on that. Definitely wouldn't have assumed this by any means, and I don't think I would ever assume a vehicle would have its own wallet per se, but you know, it's 2022 or potentially now, I guess, 2023. So I guess let me know your thoughts on that. When it comes down to it, it is that time of season once again, and that is ETFs. So as of right now, ETFs are disclosing their positions to the SEC, and for the most part, as of right now, it's been pretty flat. Some have increased, some have decreased, but no big players at this stage in the game. Most likely it's going to be coming mid-January. So once again, that might be a very good catalyst. Depends on who does increase their position, but based on this has maintained itself. So the number of ETFs holding Lucid is currently 112. So that's kind of stayed the same over the last little bit. So once again, there's a lot of volatility in the market, and there has been, but based on Blackrock, they're very optimistic by the tail end of 2023. So that might be a very positive aspect for Lucid, especially considering once they start to officially ramp up their production of the Pure, get that out there. And like I've said in the past, based on Lucid's marketing aspect, is really word of mouth. So the more Lucid Airs or the Pures or whatever it is out there on the road, definitely should get people talking more and more about the Pure. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And when it comes down to Jim Cramer, I know some of you are very much mixed on him, as am I, because basically whatever he does say, it goes the opposite. But it does look like he is now saying that you need to really look at the multiples for companies, especially based on a looming recession, as what he calls it. So just wanted to break that down because some people don't necessarily really know the multiples. I did recently do a video video with Tab, and we do touch on multiples quite a lot in there. So let me know your thoughts on that if you did pay attention or kind of watch that video. Currently 32.5 is the multiple for Lucid. The future multiple, so the next 12 months, it is so discounted, it is at 7. So that is mind-blowingly low. So once again, what Jim Cramer is basically saying is that in a upcoming pending recession, you really need to look for companies that are offering a very big discounted value. And like I said, the majority of the reservations for Lucid is for the Pure. And the Pure is now, like I just said, starting to be delivered. So Lucid, in theory, will have a very good 2023, and even more so, that's just based on the Pure and just the Gravity being rolled out. So like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of good success in 2023 for Lucid. So these multiples right now, in my opinion, who isn't a financial advisor though, is fairly cheap. So once again, I think you have to really do your own due diligence and think of what you feel Lucid is going to do long term. Over and above that, stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a very in-depth video on what to actually expect for Q4 and whether it be positive, negative. As I always say, I'm going to give you every aspect of that. Most likely, I'm going to wait till January the 1st or 2nd, or at least close to that time period, because that is when officially the numbers will be locked in. As of right now, I guess Lucid has one more day to do as many deliveries to get them last minute in there as possible, just to count them in that Q4 and the annual numbers. So let me know your thoughts on that. I'm very much excited about the Pure. I don't know if you can necessarily tell, but I think I've been very much anxiously waiting for them to really launch this and kick this off. But once again, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Hopefully everyone is having an amazing weekend thus far, and potentially as well a happy new year as well, depending on when you guys are watching this. But technically, as far as market and the trading aspect, 2022 is in fact locked in. So I just want to give you a good breakdown of what we are heading into 2023 with as far as technicals. So I do have the 5100 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So momentum shows number of retail investors have been getting in as far as over the last couple of days, and so definitely that's a very positive sign. Shows that people are taking advantage of these discounted prices. Stochastic is still extremely oversold, and that is at 10, but there is a nice deviation. So black line above the red showing a nice bullish sentiment is behind the scenes at least wanting to come out. RSI is currently at 29, still very much oversold, and on the actual chart we are below all the necessary moving averages, like I mentioned, lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. So we are in theory in no man's land, as I've said in the past. So basically we're just following psychological barrier and restraints at this stage in the game. So most likely $7 is going to be the next big resistance that we do need to get over in theory, and then once we do get over that, then you can obviously see exactly where we had trouble getting below, and obviously whenever there is support, it turns to resistance and vice versa. So most likely around the 720-ish range, and then further from that is going to be $8, give or take. So that is what we do have above us. Depending on what comes out in January, or potentially on how the actual economic data does come out, then you never know. We might be able to trend higher based on all that. But with all that said, give yourself a shout out if you've been taking advantage of these discounted prices, whether to be averaging down or just make a brand new position. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And if you do like my Lucid content and want to support the channel, join as a member. Link is in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. And with that said, I really appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.